Hey, what's up, everyone? We are SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. Today, we are filming episode 2 on August 14th, 2018. I'm Doug, and with me today are Warren.
Hi.
And Anita.
Hello.
So today's our second official episode, and before we get into it, we have some news. We're now on Stitcher, YouTube, and SoundCloud.
Hey.
So please check us out, like, subscribe, download, all that stuff. We've submitted to Google Play and Spotify, so we should be on there within the next 2 weeks. And unfortunately, iTunes is broken.
Fuck Apple.
I've been checking the support forums every day. It seems like it's broken though, but we will apply once it is fixed, and then we will be on iTunes as well. All right, so now that we got all the housekeeping out, today's main topic is going to be blacklisting in the world of K-pop. But before we get into that main topic, let's go through the new releases. So it's towards the end of the summer, so there hasn't been that many releases this week. So the only ones, we have 3 of them. So on August 9th, which was last Thursday, we had Daya with Woo Woo. And then today, on August 14th, Tuesday, we had I-DLE with Han and MXM with Ya Ya Ya. So what do you guys think of these new releases?
Oh, dang.
I have some things to say about Woo Woo.
Woo Woo? Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about Woo Woo
y'all.
first. Okay, Anita, you can start us off then. Woo Woo Woo.
Okay. First off, I like the song.
Okay.
I think it brings me back to, I think, was it their first or their
Wenji?
second? Yes. That kind of happy vibe. I really liked it. But
okay, continue.
but I saw a lot of people make this comment as well in the music video that the beat is pretty much the same as another song by another popular singer that came out in 2015 called Tinashe. And the song is called Super Love. And I'm a big fan of that song when it came out. So I immediately heard it and I was like, this sounds so much like it.
In your opinion, though, do you think it's pretty much the same beat?
The beat is the same, but I don't think the melody is quite the same. It's a little different. But if you heard it, you could say like, oh, it sounds similar.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll give my 2 cents now. So I don't know about that copy song, so I don't have anything to say about that. But I will say I've noticed in Daya for this comeback, they did not just focus on Jun Chaeyoung.
Yeah, that
Which
too.
is, if you watch the music video, she had like no screen time of her. Oh my god, my phone went off. I am so sorry.
Wow, look at your main MC fucking up over here.
Okay. But so let's go back to Jung Chaeyoung. So she had no parts in that music video of her singing. They only had like glamour shots of her, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's true.
And
the
you gotta
ending
think.
shot.
You gotta think like for the longest time, Daya was just Jung Chaeyoung and the crew. For this song, it was mostly Ki Hee-hyun, the blonde rapper girl, who was like the main focus. Her and Yebin were the 2 main focuses of this song. And I'm kind of down for not focusing on Jun Chaeyoung because I like her. She's pretty. We all know that. But besides from that, she's not a great singer or dancer. She's mostly known for just being very pretty. So I'm kind of happy that Daya went back to focusing on other kids and not just throwing her in your face the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like Jung Taeyeon, compared to like a year ago or so, she doesn't have the same market value as she once did right now. Like she's not acting in dramas anymore or anything. So like it does.
I agree.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense to put Jung Taeyeon in the front.
The only place you can see her every week is on Inkigayo, which is for people who don't know, one of the main music shows. And it's a pretty prestigious position, but it's like you're an MC. It's not like you're an artist at the time.
Jung Taeyeon still have the main chorus though when they say ooh 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 baby, that part.
Yeah, she's in the center for that.
Yeah, but like I remember the last couple releases, it was literally just her. It seems like.
I mean, so I haven't heard any of their other stuff, right? I mean, I've seen some of their music videos because you guys showed them to me before, but something about it felt. It didn't feel. The song didn't sound really K-pop. So
okay,
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have that Korean vibe. Like
here's what I'll say. When I listened to the song, I was like, oh, this is nice. Yebin has more lines. I'm happy because I watched her on the unit, right? But by the end of the song, I was like, I wish there was something more, right? Like some
yeah. There's not like a drop, like a.
I also feel like
impact.
I don't know. if MBK is struggling or what, but like it seemed kind of low budget, this music video. Like it felt like
In comparison to some other videos, yeah.
it feels to me that they just were like, all right, summer, right? What do we have to do? And then they just flew them to some resort in like Hawaii or somewhere tropical and just filmed. Like that's what it seemed like to me. Nothing was like crazy.
Didn't someone say that last time that Daya this is their like last?
Oh yeah, so I sent you guys that that article a couple days ago. So one of the girls, I forgot which girl. I think it might have been Eunice. I think that's her name. She said like management told them that if this song doesn't do well, this might be it. And I don't think they would end them as a group, but I think they would cut people out of the group.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
this is similar to what happened to Rainbow, right?
Yes, yeah. Similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had enough money at that point, like you don't want to invest that money, like kind of feel.
Because obviously, like Jun Cheon is proven to be a good commodity. Ki Hyun, the rapper, is very good, and then Yebin is also very popular. But like they definitely have members that if they needed to cut members, could do it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we forget a lot, but K-pop comes down to economics, right? If you got too many people and you ain't pulling in that much money, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed though? Like this was kinda in like very strong contrast with G-Idle, but I noticed that when I was watching the G-Idle music video, like one or two of the girls were wearing a Balenciaga t-shirt.
Okay. I also
and then one of the Daya girls was wearing this like rip-off Triple S.
Yeah.
I also noticed that in the I-DLE video, one girl was wearing a Juventus soccer jersey.
Oh.
Shout out to Ronaldo going to Juventus.
yo, if you're doing shout outs, they were all wearing Fila sneakers. I'm a big Fila fan. Yo, shout out to that. Go support Fila, guys. I got like Fila shit. You know what I want? You know what I want to happen? Like I want us to be really successful one day. And you know, if we get like Fila sponsorship, like
why would they sponsor us if we don't do video, bro?
I don't fucking know. I'll talk about it in my podcast.
Are you gonna say like I'm wearing Fila, trust me, over an audio podcast?
Yo, guys, I'm in my bedroom in pajamas wearing Fila Disruptor 2. That's what I'm doing right now.
All right, but let's get back on track and move on to the I-DLE song now that you mentioned it. So, I like this song. I thought, all right, they were definitely going for like a Egyptian, almost Middle Eastern theme, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that Soyeon, who's the main rapper, like absolutely destroyed on this song.
She's doing really good in this group.
Didn't she compose?
She. Okay, so rumor. I don't know for sure because this song just came out today, but people are saying that she pretty much wrote the song and produced it.
Oh,
interesting.
She is way more polished when compared to how long she's been active. She's very professional for me. But I know Warren has some opinions about this song, so go ahead, Warren.
I mean, I just didn't like it. Just what it is. Song. I just don't like it. It's a big deal. It's like it's like you put like I don't know, like some like you put like house and hip hop and moomba tone and all into one like song, and then you mishmashed it with like this girl whistling. Like I don't know. It doesn't feel right for me. But
will you agree though that out of all the female rookie groups, I-DLE's probably like the strongest?
They're doing the best right now.
They're making solid songs. I'll give you that.
I mean, I'm happy that Cube is fully invested in them.
Oh yeah.
But
I had a question about the title of the song. I thought I read somewhere that it was actually called Whistle, but did they change the name or?
Yeah, I think it was called Whistle at one point, but it seemed like okay. So when I was writing up the script for this episode, like the name changed like 2-3 times. Like, I don't know what happened, but and Han is a very interesting word for Koreans, and it's an odd choice. Warren, you want to explain Han in like 2 seconds?
Yeah, I mean Han can mean one, but it can also mean like it's like an emotion that kind of mixes in sadness and frustration.
Yeah, and that's like a Korean cultural word for like, okay, so Korea is a very small country, and Korea has a history of being like oppressed, conquered, that kind of thing. So Han is like the general mindset in the back of your mind as a Korean. So it's a very odd, well, I would call it an odd choice. It's an interesting choice that they chose that for this song.
I don't think that's what they were going for, though.
I don't think it was what they were going for either, but it was weird to me.
I think the alternative English title was Lonely or Alone. Yeah.
Which sort of is a almost a Han feeling.
Yeah.
That kind of word.
Yeah.
Also, the dancing was crazy. I liked it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was amazing. They're becoming 4-minute part 2.
See, that's what I thought. Like everything about them felt very 4-minute. Their dance, their concept, their song, like.
And I know enough about this group where I have a bias.
Already?
I've been following. I like Yugi, the girl with the deep voice from China.
Oh yeah.
That's my bias, and she's gonna be on Anin Hyungnim this week.
Yeah.
Did you say her name is? Did you say her name is Yugi? Like Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, like literally Yugi.
Yugi? What? Like
yeah, bro. She's
Yugi. What the heck?
Like she's definitely my bias in this group.
I like her voice.
But all right, let's move on now to MXM with Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt for rookie singers, this was pretty good, and I really feel like they're just waiting for I-DLE and Ujin to come back from 101 before they could really make some moves, because it was a pretty good song. Very like, I like how they didn't try to be. So last week we had Stray Kids going absolutely crazy hard, right?
They were good.
I know Stray Kids was good, but I'm more happy that MXM is like they're trying to be who they aren't. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I really liked the video. I thought the choreography was really interesting. Yeah.
You could also feel like their company's not throwing too much money until the other two kids come back.
Yeah.
What was that thing with like?
Wait, continue, Lauren.
They had that thing with like the purple T-shirt, and they're like,
yeah.
That just felt weird. Like when they have that one big T-shirt on together, I was like,
But it was cute. It was.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Warren and I could pull that off, definitely.
Keep me out of it. You can do it all by yourself. I don't know. Like holy shit.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry, man. I don't love you.
Wow, dude, I'm getting wrecked. All right, but I think they're doing fine, and I think they're just waiting till the other members come back, and then I think they're gonna blow up because they got a lot of talents going on.
You know what I noticed though? Like, I was looking at the credits for the song, and there's a lot of people involved, and and I saw this guy named Elapse on there, and I haven't been a fan of his, but he's been really involved with like all the artists I've been fan of back in like 2008 and 9.
What's his name?
Elapse.
Elapse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like an audio engineer in the underground hip hop scene, and like, this is like really coming back to like. Sorry, I'm just gonna cut this part out when I edit the video. Like, holy shit!
No, it's interesting. I love the technical side of K-pop too. I think it's.
I don't know. It was really cool seeing that. It was like, cause I know he used to have no fucking money, and like now he's like.
I mean, and it makes sense because. Yeah, Brand New is definitely a hip hop company, so it makes sense completely. Oh, can I make a retraction from last week?
What?
Is it about Red Velvet?
What?
It's about Red Velvet. I'm so into that song now. Oh, dude, I listen to it like all day long.
Really?
I think it's good.
I still hate the triangle dance, whatever they're going for.
The shark dance.
I still hate that, but love the song, and they look awesome performing it too.
You know who I've been really listening to a lot recently this week?
Who?
There's a rapper called Uneducated Kid.
Uneducated Kid?
I feel like I've heard of him.
He's like, you take Lil Pump as your base, and you make it even more stupid and dumb, and then you have Uneducated Kid.
How old is he? Is he young?
I don't know. He's like he looks like he's like in his 40s, but he's like early 20s.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. For me,
check him out.
I'm back on the Uju Sonyo train hard.
Yeah.
Like they're equal level in my heart to Twice right now. And that takes a lot.
Shit.
I just want them to succeed so badly.
I'm just waiting for the next comeback.
Oh,
Like,
here, I'm gonna do another sort of a shout out. So this is to Yeonjung, right? Can someone get that girl a sandwich, please? Like, after this episode, like don't pause us and stop watching us. But after you watch this, please look up like a cam of their most recent performances. She is so skinny now, it's ridiculous.
hold on, I'm looking this shit up right now.
She must have lost. Okay, so let's guess she's like, all right, most Korean girls are probably like 5'2", 5'3", right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing she was like 110 pounds. She's probably like 90 now.
Really?
It's crazy how skinny she looks.
Oh my god, you're right. I'm looking this. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's scary to me, but I'm hoping for all their success. Hope they're healthy. Hope they're doing well. Hope next comeback's a hit and they win a music show finally. But I'm now gonna pivot into the weekly top 10. So Insta's weekly cumulative chart is back up, and Instas is a company that they more or less give you a cumulative ranking of all the different charts in Korea for K-pop and Korean music in general. So let's just go through the top 10. For number 10, holding strong is Blackpink, but it's not the song you're thinking. It's Forever Young, the B-side. So that's just showing how popular that album is in general, because that song does not have a music video or anything, right? So in ninth place, we have Baigan Sachungi with Travel, great song, great summer song.
Shit.
Eighth place, we have Icon Killing Me, and it's a little surprising that they're not higher on this list, considering they came back last week.
Okay, can I make a quick shout out?
Yeah,
the
definitely.
B-side to that song, Freedom. I really like it.
I'm gonna make a note and listen to that later.
Yeah, it's more of a rock feel to it, which I think is really interesting coming from Icon. But it's really good. I suggest.
Do you think it's better than the A side?
I don't know if it's better, but it's like a complete 180. It's really different.
Okay,
so
I'm down
I think
for.
it showed a different side.
I'm down for Icon showing a different side. So in seventh place, we have A-Pink with I'm So Sick, and man, their fan base is like really strong still. I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
After all these years, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're like, if you think of it, they're the only like Gen 2 that's like still promoting. Actively.
The whole list, yeah.
It's like them and maybe like Higlight.
Yeah, kinda.
And it's like, I don't consider like Block B and BTOB. I feel like A-Pink was a little before those groups, right? Like,
yeah, they were before.
So I feel like A-Pink's like the lone survivor after all this time.
Shit, yeah.
But
because that's the thing, right? Like 7-year drinks, like that's when they go away, because that's the contract thing. Like, oh shit.
But they're holding on really strong. But in sixth place we have Mamamoo with Egotistic. Y'all know I love that song. Fifth place we have Blackpink with Doo 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 Doo. Banger, absolute banger. Fourth place we have Zico featuring IU Soulmate. I'm surprised that that's not higher, because I think that's a masterpiece of a song. In third place, Twice with Dance the Night Away. They ain't going away. Bill. What, Warren?
No, sorry. I was just
Got excited.
He got excited.
I was just rooting for Twice.
Oh, Warren. So my friend, right? I won't shout out his name because I don't know if he wants me to. But my best friend from high school, white guy. His favorite member is Junghyun. Like, he was like, I like that girl with the short hair. I was like, bro.
Yo, you gotta hook me up with this guy, yo.
I mean, like, Junghyun fans are kind of rare, man. You are a rare breed.
We barely see each other. Junghyun fans don't exist. Oh my god.
What?
We're like unicorns. Yeah. Like, we're like mythical creatures over here.
But second place, little controversial. Sean with Way Back Home is sticking at 2.
You know what? I went back and heard the song after last week.
It's a good song.
I hate the song.
Really?
Oh. It's like an Ed Sheeran kind of song with the voice of.
It is. All right, and number 1, pretty expected. Red Velvet with Power Up. They all killed last Thursday on August 9th.
Oh shit.
Like, there's only been like 5 or 6 all kills this year, and they're one of them. So good for them. I like the song. It might not be my favorite Red Velvet song, but it's definitely a strong song. But Sean sticking at number 2 is still a little interesting to me.
He's gonna be alright.
Yeah.
It's just like, so Warren, in your
How?
opinion, is his number 2 like real at this point,
No.
or do you still think it's manipulated, right?
Here's the thing. Like, here's why I think it's manipulated. Like, there's a manipulation controversy, and then with all this controversy, not a bunch of fans are going, "Hey, he has actual fans," and his rankings ain't dropping. Like, something's happening. Like, even with controversy going on, he's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the viewers at home, you got to remember this song has no music video, which is even weirder.
Yeah.
Because like honestly, most people start listening to their songs on YouTube, so we look visually first, and then we decide to play them on like Spotify or
Yeah.
iTunes. So a little strange, but let's go into the show winners this week. So I rearranged the order to more do it in like date order. So on August 8th, so that was last Wednesday, it was Show Champion. They had no show or no chart, so no one won that show, right? Thursday we had M Countdown. Icon Killing Me got their first win. Good for them.
Good for them.
Music Bank, which was on Friday, was Sean with Way Back Home. He won a music show and a big one. Music Bank.
Jesus.
I'll move on
For real,
to
though.
Chosen Music Core, which was on Saturday. Twice picked up their 10th win for Dance the Night Away.
Dang.
10 wins.
10 wins.
Wow.
Holy shit.
If I know my numbers right, the record is EXO Call Me Baby with 15.
Wow.
But it seems like
that's good.
there's no way Twice is going to win another 5, but 10 is really crazy. That means your song was amazing. And then Inkigayo, which was on Sunday, we had Zico featuring IU Soulmate got their first win, which is good. And that song's not like a group song or specifically an idol song. So those types of songs generally don't win that many shows. But good for them. I think they deserve it. And finally, this morning, Daya with their first win ever for Woo Woo. Like literally first win, not only for that song, but first win ever for a group. And in Korea, winning a music show means you've made it. But I'll put an asterisk, tiny asterisk. The 2 people they beat to win it were Leo and Laboom. So not the stiffest competition ever.
I mean, good
Still.
judging though, you know, like.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. So congratulations to Daya. I hope you produce better songs, great
Don't
songs
disband.
going forward. Don't disband and win some more things going forward.
Yeah.
I hope you guys actually make some money.
Yeah. All right. So that covers all of the normal stuff, the weekly updates. Let's get into this main topic. So
Right.
I think it's a very interesting main topic. It is blacklisting in the world of K-pop. So let me first describe what I think blacklisting is in K-pop, and you guys could chime in and you can give your general opinions on it. So for me, blacklisting in K-pop is when a specific entity or powerful person in K-pop, whether it be a company or a person or a producer, has influence on a group's success. That's what in a negative way. So that's a little roundabout, but I'll say like, let's say you're in a group and something happens, you break up with your company or you piss someone off, and then they go out of their way to limit your exposure, which in turn is limiting your success. That's what blacklisting in K-pop is for me. Do you guys have any other things to add?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's pretty much the general definition of it. I think it's, in short, it would just limiting to brand yourself after you leave these companies, which is the hardest part.
Okay, yeah. So it's good that you mentioned the distinction that it's generally after a
Leaving
group
the
has
company.
split from a company. That's when it most commonly happens. But the first big example, probably the biggest example, is Dongbang Shingi, DBSK, TVXQ, however you know them. So I'll let Anita give a bit of the history of that group. 'Cause she's a big fan of them. So the floor is yours, Anita.
Yeah. So TVXQ debuted in 2004, and I think they were under SM at the time. They still are, and what's most controversial about them is that 3 members from the group ended up filing a lawsuit against the company in 2009, and the basis for the lawsuit was basically that they were being underpaid. They were supposedly in slave contracts. And yeah, they thought it was unfair and they wanted to get out of the company, basically nullifying their contract. So that's basically what the lawsuit was about. And then the lawsuit ended in 2012, I believe. And supposedly during that time, SM was preventing them from being on broadcast, from advertising, being in commercials and music shows. And that basically affected the group a lot, the three that left, JYJ. So even now, though, after 2012, after the lawsuit ended, we're still saying that SM is still using their connections, blackmailing broadcasting stations to prevent them from being on the music shows, even though technically they can't do that.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so let's go over some terms, right? So that if you're not super familiar, so slave contract, right? So
Yes.
back in the day, K-pop was like the wild, wild west, right?
Yeah.
And people were desperate to be famous back then. And I think for JYJ, they cited in the lawsuit that they were under like a 13-year contract.
Yeah. That's what they claim to be.
And for K-pop groups, the average like there's an unspoken rule that after 7 years you're pretty much done, right? So to be under a 13-year contract is absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And I'll add to this, it's like, okay, so TVXQ, so now there's TVXQ, which is two guys, Yuno and Changmin, right? And then there's JYJ, which is Junsu,
Yuchun.
Yuchun, and who's the third guy?
Jaejung.
Yeah, Jaejung. Okay, the good-looking guy. I remember. But so they're in JYJ, right? And it's like, we have not seen JYJ on like a music show since this happened.
Yeah, they haven't.
That's crazy. That's 8 years. No, 9 years at this point.
Almost 9, yeah.
And I saw an article last week that they're still the most commercially successful like group, those 5 members combined, out of anyone in the history of K-pop in terms of revenue.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I think controversial about JYJ is that they were so popular as 5 that it's pretty. I'm pretty sure that they would have been just as popular as 3, the JYJ group, as the other 2, as Yuno and Changmin, if they hadn't been blacklisted by SM. And I think that's the fear that a lot of companies have, that they're going to use that all the establishing popularity that they have, and then after leaving the company, they're going to profit from that, and the company ends up losing because they just lost their artists, they broke the contract, their investment.
So I know the answer, but can you go into like, so JYJ, right? So they leave that group, they go through this lawsuit, they get blacklisted. So how have they been like working then since then?
Well, individually, Chun has always been more of the actor of the group, so he focused more on that. I believe he didn't release any solo stuff, I think only one single, and that was a while ago. Wow. And then he had that scandal, so he kind of went underground. But Jaejung has been doing a lot of solo stuff as well. I think TVXQ as a whole was really, really, really popular in Japan. So he had solo concerts in Japan. And then Junsu, he did musical theater
So it's like one of those things where they still are like financially successful, but it's like they could be so much more if they weren't blacklisted.
They could be, yeah.
And it's one of those situations where it's like they have to like do weird methods to maintain their popularity, like go to Japan, go there, do weird appearances, right? Like it's a struggle because like you're an artist, right? And you think, I'm a singer, I'm in this group. I know we had like some struggles in the past, but at the same time, you're like, man, they're really taking away all of our opportunities.
Yeah.
And it really seems like there's nothing they can do about it.
here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
One of them on the EBS singing show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I think I heard that one of them was on the EBS music show back in like 2012 or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was also around the time, like when SM was starting to meddle around a lot with making dramas. Like,
Okay.
like Paradise Farm, I think came around like 2010 or 11 or something like that, and that was produced by SM. And that was around the time SM CNC was becoming more and more active, and like people kind of forget how much influence SM has on like all sides of Korean media. Like
Mm-hmm.
not a single TV
Mhm.
show out there that doesn't have like the influence of SM. Like name a show and I'll like there's someone
Yeah.
to SM on it.
They have a big reach. Yeah.
Yeah, like even if there was here's what I'm thinking, right? Like, even if SM didn't actually like word for word blacklist and
Mhm.
email people, like Korean broadcast PDs, you know, like Korean TV show PDs were probably like, hey, let's just not even risk it. You know, let's
Yeah.
stay on good terms.
Mhm.
That's probably what happened as well. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like someone had to take the bullet for everyone in the industry. And it's unfortunate that it was JYJ, but because of their lawsuits,
Mhm.
these types of slave contracts and blacklisting as a whole is kind of less prevalent, I feel. And
Yeah. Well. Mhm.
it sucks for them on a personal level, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's made the industry a little better because of it.
Yeah.
But we're
I
gonna
would
go
hope
into some
so.
more
Yeah.
examples. But it's just like it feels dirty, right? Doesn't it?
yeah.
It does, especially knowing that they had such a huge fan base, and
Mhm.
I feel that looking at some of the comments on their videos, JYJ's videos and TVXQ's videos, a lot of fans are like torn, and they're saying, "Oh, the JYJ members were too greedy. They weren't really thinking of the team," and that's something that comes up a lot with the members that leave the companies. Like you weren't thinking of the team, you weren't thinking of the group as a whole, you were thinking about yourself. And I guess personally, I don't know. I can't really say that it was a selfish thing because you don't know what the contract was like, what they were really going through. But it's sad to know that the fans are thinking that way.
You also
Mhm.
it's one of those things also where the two remaining members, right?
Mhm.
They really profited from this. Like in order to retain them, I heard that SM gave them a ton of money and rewrote their contracts very favorable to them.
Yeah.
Dang.
And I saw them recently on a reality show called Na Honja Sanda, I Live Alone, where they basically just
Oh
show you
yeah,
the
yeah,
lives
yeah.
of artists. They both live in like super expensive apartments and they're doing absolutely fine. So, but I wonder if that would have been the case if they stayed as five, right? You always got to think that what if.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's move on to Jessica, another SM former employee.
Oh jeez, another one.
So I'll go into this one. So Jessica is from SojuTalk SNSD, which Girls' Generation, which is probably the most successful girl group ever, right? Up until this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
And she was the first member to leave, or as she said, she was kicked out of the group, right? Still a little controversial. So at this point, when she got kicked out, SojuTalk had been around for about 7 years. And you got to think around 7 years is pretty much your lifespan for music, right? That's when numbers start going down. Like, because there's new groups, you can't really fight to keep your position because you're like an older group. You've been around forever, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play with the new shiny toy. But
Right.
so Jessica started branching out into like fashion and other business ventures. And it seems like SM wanted her to just be like a SojuTalk member. Don't do any of that other stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they more or less gave her an ultimatum saying like you choose your business ventures and your other life, or you choose to just be an SM employee and do SojuTalk activities. And she chose the business aspect. So I would say they pretty much forcibly kicked her out of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's what they said happened. Like people said that she didn't really know that she was kicked out.
so they might have done her a little
Yeah.
dirty, but it's like, so after she's been out of the group, her business ventures have been going great apparently. And she's also released new music, but she hasn't appeared on any music shows, and everyone thought that was a little weird.
Yeah.
And so one incident that happened was she was at a Q&A session,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, at some of these Q&A sessions, you write on post-it notes, you put it on a board, and maybe your favorite idol will pick it off and read it and answer it. And she unfortunately picked one asking like, "Don't you want to go on music shows?" And she gave a really odd answer where you could tell she was very nervous. And she's like, "Music shows, I want to go on them, but..." And she couldn't answer anymore, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very similar situation to JYJ, where it seems like she's also blacklisted by SM and can't really get on those music shows. And music shows is a gigantic form of exposure.
Yeah.
It's tough for her, but it's one of those things. It's like, but in the Dongbang Shingi and Jessica scenarios, they were both super successful before this happened. So it's not really like a huge issue because they've already made so much money. They've already made it. But at the same time, I feel like they should be allowed to continue to pursue their dreams and their aspirations in the music. Like, so it's a tough situation, but they're kind of privileged in the fact that they both already had like successful careers before this happened.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the weirdest one, 24K. This is such a strange blacklisting thing because it's literally been proven. So 24K is this boy group, and they're not super successful, right? Let's just get to the point. They're not super successful, but it was literally proven that they were blacklisted by the last two presidents of Korea, Lee Myung-baek and Park Geun-hye, right? So how this came out was, eventually reports came out that 342 organizations and about 9,000 individuals blacklisted during Lee's administration from 2008 until 2015, right? And 24K was the only idol group. So you might be thinking to yourself, like, why would they have been blacklisted, right? They got blacklisted for a really petty reason. They did the campaign song for the opposition party's campaign for Moon Jae-in, who's now currently the president of Korea.
Oh, for the Democratic Party?
Yeah, they just did a campaign song, and that was enough for them to get blacklisted.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that dirty?
I just can't believe that.
Disgusting.
I mean, I know that the government did a lot of blacklisting for artists and I guess public figures in general, but I didn't think they would go as blacklisting a group, especially since they're. I mean, no offense to them, but they're not at the top tier, like well known.
Exactly.
So
Like,
you also got to think, it's like, it's not even them who wanted to do their song. It was like probably their label was like, yeah, we got this opportunity, do this song.
Yeah, for media purposes.
And it's like they're blacklisting the group, but they're really punishing the company that they're in. What company? is it?
Yeah.
Let me look that up real quick, just so I give you all the correct information. So they are under Choeun Entertainment. I don't even know who they are. That company. It's a tiny company.
What'd you say? Choeun?
Choeun.
Choeun.
But
What?
it's like these kids aren't even popular. It's struggle city, and then their company's being punished, so they have to get punished for this. Absolutely bananas, in my opinion.
This is kind of this is like a really shitty situation because like this is actually been proven, right? Like there's an actual.
This is.
I'm not
it's
even
like
like,
their
yeah.
name was on documents.
Right, yeah. This isn't like people talking while like like eating soju. Like this is like an actual
Eating
document.
soju. Okay.
It's like no, like I'm being real. On the cover, it had like the numbers of people blacklisted and shit. Like this is like public like national humiliation, dude. Like,
And I say the worst thing is that they were like they hadn't even made it. They were on the way up, and to have this kind of like, it's already hard to make it. Like 90% of groups don't make it, and to have this type of blacklisting is absolutely unfair for these kids. I feel for them, but
it's kind of crazy to hear that they're the only idol group because besides these two blacklists, there was a bunch of other blacklists as well. Like MBC had their own blacklists. There's like a whole bunch of like political fancy bum shit going on, and like I noticed that there's a lot of like singers and actors above their age of 30, because that's when you actually like you can like start expressing your political opinions and people don't give a damn.
Yeah.
And then like shit.
It really speaks to how like shady the industry could be sometimes, and how deeply like politics are involved in it. But
yeah,
let's go into some like other examples where we can debate if it's really blacklisting or not. So I got two examples I wrote down. So I wrote down Jay Park, and I wrote down Higlight/Beast. So for Jay Park, I'll give you like the shortest summary of his career ever, right? Jay Park was in a boy group called 2 PM out of JYP. He was the leader. And their debut song was Again and Again, if I remember correctly.
No, their debut song was 10 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10 out of 10. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You only made it to Again and Again, right? That was the second release, I think.
Yeah, and then he left.
But he got kicked out of JYP because it's a very relevant situation to what's happening now. So they found really old tweets. Oh no, it was on his MySpace. Really old MySpace post.
Yeah.
Where he was like, while he was a trainee and he was struggling and not making any money and living in terrible conditions, he was like, I hate Korea. Korea sucks. I want to go back to LA, right?
I heard he made some other comments that were a little worse, but
yeah, he made some worse comments.
Wait, what did he say? I don't know. I want to know. I want to know this. I never heard about this. What did he say? I gotta look it up now.
I think I don't know. I think I heard that he made comments about like how they treated each other, I guess. So, I think, I'm not quoting. I think like, oh, Korea's gay or something like that.
It says Korea is gay and I hate Korean gays. This is like someone in his like what 17-year-old little like
no, not even 17. This is when he was a trainee, so he might have been like 15.
He was
16.
really young.
I mean, people make dumb mistakes when they're young.
But apparently, so JYP himself, the man, had the option to either protect Jay Park and like support him in the media and be like, he was a little kid, we're sorry, blah 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 blah. But they chose the complete opposite route and kicked him out, right?
Yeah.
So Jay Park left JYP, came back to Seattle. Seattle's where he's from. Did some stuff there, and then he came back to Korea, started AOMG. He's blown up. He's huge now. But
he's doing quite well.
What?
He's doing quite well.
He's doing really well.
He's like achieved the dream that JYP couldn't achieve. Like he came to America. He's like, he's bigger than Wonder Girls is in America. Ever will be.
But there's still lingering of blacklisting because he's not on a lot of music shows. It's a combination of factors. Number one, I think has a little bit to do with JYP. Number two, it's because he's a rapper, and rapper's hard to get on TV because it's a little explicit. But another situation that happened was he was supposed to be on Superstar K, which is the Korean equivalent of like American Idol, and they have celebrity guest judges, and he was supposed to be one. But then they hired JYP, right? And JYP pretty much got Jay Park removed because JYP was like, if Jay Park's on the show and he's also a judge, it means we're at equal level.
Shit.
So he got him removed from the show, and that's why Yoo was on it.
No. That's like that happened again in 2015. Infinite Challenge.
Was it the same scenario?
Yeah, the rumor is so Infinite Challenge was a show that was popular in Korea for a long time, and every 2 years, like the MCs of that show would do like a little collab with like a bunch of singers. Like IU was on it, and in 2015, JYP was on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then later in 2015, later in 2015, Jay Park's album drops, fucking worldwide great album, and then Fuckboy, he's like, yo, this I was supposed to be on some sort of singing show, but this other guy couldn't, get me on it because, like he wasn't happy with. I'm not doing a good job of translating right now. Go check it out later. But he was apparently supposed to be on that shit too. Like,
oh no, I take mine back. It was Mua Dojan. I got my stories mixed up. But
Mm.
it just shows that, like, although he might not be super blacklisted from everything, JYP's still affecting his career down the road when it really shouldn't happen. But lastly, we got Higlight and Beast, right? So Beast was a company out of Cube, more or less. They came to the end of their contracts and didn't want to renew. They had been successful. They'd been around like 6-7 years. And then they left to start their own company. And Cube was like, well, you were Beast under our label. We're not giving you the rights to their name.
Change your name.
So they made them change the name, which is like terrible for branding and stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the casual fans might be like, who's this new group Higlight and why are they also right?
Yeah,
And they wouldn't
yeah.
even know that they're Beast. But in general, I feel like all the blacklist stuff that we talked about, it's like all pushed under the table, all under the rug.
It is.
Because it's like that hidden grimy side of K-pop that no one really wants to address.
Yeah. Yeah, because technically, I mean, as far as I've read, I've researched, it's not a legal thing. It's not something you can do. But since these companies have so much power, it's like the fear that the broadcasting stations have.
That's probably what it is. Like, someone in SM probably doesn't text KBS and go, "Hey, I don't want Jessica next show." Like, the PDs and KBS are probably like, "Shit, you know what? Having on that show, too risky. Let's just take her out and replace it with someone else."
Yeah. I also wanted to mention something that I was forgetting about, but I think it was a big topic as well concerning SM Entertainment as well. And that was their treatment towards their Chinese trainees or their entertainers under the company, because a lot of them, mostly from EXO, Chris, Luhan, and Tao, they left the company, and then they are supposed to be blacklisted in Korea, right? So they can't have any activities there. And also similar thing where they say they were under slave contract, they were paid enough. And then I think the oldest case of this was from Super Junior.
Hanging?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
And he said the same thing. Like, he wanted apparently to do acting, and then no. And then I think the most heartbreaking part for me was that he mentioned how, and I saw the performances, how he had to wear a mask while he was performing at the time because of his ethnicity, for being Chinese, and he couldn't say no because the company was controlling everything he did. And so he said that that's why he left the company, but because he broke the contract, Korea, so he just basically is a solo artist in China, really successful. But I think that's something that SM has a reputation for, like the way they treat some of their non-Korean entertainers. And I guess right now, what I'm afraid of is that so the only remaining Chinese member in EXO is Slay, and he's been in China for the longest time. Like, he hasn't had any activities in Korea with EXO as a whole for a while, and I don't know if it's because of this again, if he's gonna leave eventually. I hope not, but if it's the same thing where...
Do you think that there's a lot of geopolitics involved, though?
I think so. I mean, of course,
I'll say there's a silver lining to that, because it's like, obviously, for us as fans, we support the artist more than the company.
Yeah.
I would say for the Chinese members from EXO, plus Hanging, have been so successful in China that they've had the last laugh on SM, because Luhan, I think they had a poll which was like most powerful entertainers in China, and he was number 2, right?
He blew up. He was
Tao was a humongous rapper. All of his things go to number 1, and he was the main host for Produce 101 China, right? So he's doing great.
Yeah.
Chris Wu is all over the place these days, right?
Didn't Chris Wu collab with like Travis Scott?
Yes, and he was in the action movies with Vin Diesel
he was
too.
in the movie.
I would say they had the last laugh on it because China's such a bigger market, but it still was like dirty, right? It didn't need to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's no proof that it happened. Like, it's just the artist saying now afterward that this is going on. But I mean, after so many cases, it's kind of have to believe something.
Yeah.
But let's wrap this up on a happy. Oh, go on.
I just wanted to quickly note, that everything we kind of said in this episode, besides what actually happened, you should like take with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
nothing
like
is.
maybe like 5 pinches of salt. Like just like something like it might be like it might not would have been happened. Like just the
Mm-hmm.
situation is kind of undercover. Like I mean,
Yeah.
covered. Like
I think
people say
it's
that.
okay because we're just like this is all we're just saying what we know based on what's come out, right?
Yeah,
We're
Yeah,
just
what's
giving our
public,
opinions on
yeah.
it. But at the end
No.
of the day, the best thing you can do is support your artists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Whether
but
that's watching their YouTube videos, buying the physical copies, because honestly, as an international fan, those are like probably the only two ways you could actually contribute to your group success.
Yeah.
if SM, if you listening, if you ever sponsor us, I actually really love you guys. You know, go SM, Suman Lee. Woohoo.
All right, but let's move on to some like happier stuff. I don't know if it's much happier, but like let's get off of this dreary topic. So I'm gonna read off the title of news articles from last week, and let's just get some quick reactions to these articles, right?
Are we still sticking to one sentence reactions or like?
No, it could be a couple sentences, but nothing too
Okay.
long.
Okay.
So, number one, male idols no longer able to delay enlistment to the age of 30. And this does not affect only idols, it's everyone. So
Fuck.
on
Wow.
August 1st, 2018, the age is now down from 30 to 28. So you have to go to Gunde or army, compulsory army service by the time you're 28. So that means your favorite idols who are 1989 and born in 1990 must enlist by this year. So some of them are Shiny's Onyu, BTOB's Eunkwang, and he's already enlisted pretty much. Like basically. Got a bunch of members in Higlight. You have EXO's Shumin and Big Bang Seungri all have to go by the end of the year.
Wow.
I only have 7 years left. Fuck.
You guys have any other reaction? For me, it's like it's that balance between like I know they're celebrities, but at the end of the day, they're still citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do you really want a 30-year-old dude to join the army with like an 18-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, I think logically it makes sense. Like you physically you have to be able to do the training, but yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I know Anita's really sad about Onyu, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care about Onyu. I'm just worrying about my.
You worried about yourself.
Fuck, like.
Warren, do you have a green card?
Yeah, I have a green card.
Okay, but at the same time, it's like you probably still gonna have to go, right?
Yeah, like a green card, it lets me delay as far as I want, but like.
You still gotta go.
I still gotta fucking go unless they change the shit.
Oh, rough for you, bro.
Fuck.
Lord.
It's
But
the podcast from the military.
hashtag get wrecked, bro.
I'll like come in and be like, oh, Chung Song, hello everybody.
Bro, you should just claim you speak no Korean at all. Nah, don't do that. You'll definitely get in trouble. But,
Yeah,
let's move on. So BTS announced New Love concert tour is going to stop at Citi Field, which is where the New York Mets play, and it will be the first stadium concert ever by a K-pop artist in the United States. This is huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Let me look up real quick. Citi Field concert.
How big? Yeah.
Concert capacity. Let me look that up real quick. See how many that is.
I mean, I honestly.
Oh my god.
How many?
So when they're playing baseball, it's 42,000.
Oh.
Wow.
When you adjust for a concert, it's probably still 25 to 30,000.
Wow. Dang.
Jesus.
I mean, honestly, knowing how BTS is doing right now, I'm pretty sure it's a good size for them. I don't think it's gonna.
I think it's gonna sell out.
Yeah, it's gonna sell out.
But
25,
but like
30,000. Oh my god.
Props to BTS. Y'all are killing it. They got a comeback at the end of the month. It's probably, I would say it's their most important comeback because they got the world looking now. Now they got to kill it.
Yeah.
They're global now.
They need like a song that's as big as Fire to come out.
The pressure is on right now. Like,
if they come out with the second Fire, which is I would say like probably one of their most famous songs, if they come out with a bop like that, it's game over.
Yeah.
Literally game. I think they need lots of English in the chorus so that people know what so it appeals to
Catchy,
international
yeah.
crowd.
Uh-huh.
But if they could do that, the sky's the limit for them.
Man, I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't do like weird pronunciations though. Like
Don't do what?
like the weird pronunciations like fake love. You know?
Wait, what?
Fake love, fake love.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
what they say.
Nobody says fake love. You know, like everyone says fake love.
Fake love.
It's like always like fake love. I'm like, why are you accenting the K? Like I thought you guys worldwide now. You know what I mean?
All right. But shout out to BTS. Y'all killing it.
Y'all killing that. Good shit.
All right, next one. Netizens accuse MBK Entertainment of using BTOB Sungjae and Daya's Juwon's dating rumors for marketing. I think it's true.
I saw somewhere someone said that this is not the first time this has happened.
Let me switch up what I said by this is true. I think the dating rumor itself is false, but I think MBK using it for marketing is true.
Yeah. That's what I read too.
Timing is too perfect for this to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Korean companies do that all the fucking time. At this point, it's like, whatever.
But we're gonna talk about dating next week as our main topic. Dating in the K-pop world. So we could talk about this more next week, but this is just a slight preview. Man, lots of dating rumors recently. Love is in the air, apparently. It's like the heat wave comes to Korea, everyone's brain cells melt a little. Everyone wants to date each other all of a sudden and not go by like the rules. It's crazy.
Wow, what a bunch of dogs on beat.
But let's go to the next one. So SES's Shu. So SES is a like one of the first girl groups, huge girl groups ever. SES's Shu admits she is 90s girl group member A in a lawsuit and is being sued for borrowing 500,000 in gambling money. Wow.
Yeah. Kind of fucked up there.
So Korea has a very odd perspective on gambling. It's very looked down upon in general. So Warren, do you know why that is?
It's first of all, it's illegal.
Okay.
That's honestly logically that's what it honestly is. It's illegal, and if you're a good law-abiding citizen, you don't want to fuck with the law. You just leave that shit alone.
I have some questions though. Aren't there some casinos in Gangwon-do and other areas where it is legal?
No, there's one in Gangwon-do, and that's it.
Okay, but is it also frowned upon? Let's say I'm in Korea, I'm a pretty rich guy, and I go to like Macau, which is the Las Vegas of China, and I go gamble. Is that also frowned upon?
That's actually also illegal. Like, Korean law, the way it works, like even if I went to Colorado and smoked weed, like that, I'm still a criminal now in Korea.
Wow. Okay, so that makes more sense then. Why this would be such a big deal, and why there's been so many gambling scandals in the past in Korea for celebrities. It's because a lot of times they get caught gambling not in Korea but outside of Korea in other places. But man, this 500,000 is no joke.
It's a lot of fucking money.
I guess what surprises me. Oh, sorry. I guess what surprises me most is that it's her. I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, she has an image of being like a superwoman mom, right?
Yeah.
She got 3 kids. Why is she out gambling?
I mean, I don't know. When did this happen?
This is within the last week or so that this came out.
Dang.
So, so from what I can guess is she went to that casino in Gangwon-do, right? And she took out a loan after she lost some money for more money, and she just didn't pay it back.
Oh.
So shady all around.
Yeah, just bad move. Don't gamble.
Don't do it. Gambling's not worth it. But lastly, Polaris Entertainment officially signs former Wonder Girl Sunye, right? But in the second article, netizens disapprove of her return to broadcast.
I mean, she's got a really shitty like image in Korea right now, right?
So most netizens, Sunye was in Wonder Girls, which after Sonushide was probably the most successful girl group.
Yeah.
And Sunye got married and left the group to become a missionary, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
And netizens are like, bro, why are you back? You have a kid now? They think it's because she's financially a little insecure. They think she ran out of some monies and she needs more money.
I mean,
it kind of makes sense. Like, missionary is not a well-paying job, is it?
But Warren, so is most of her negative opinion in Korea because she broke up Wonder Girls essentially?
She like up until like as far as I remember, I was in like 5th grade when this shit happened, but she was like the most active member in Wonder Girls. People kind of looked up to her, and then she just suddenly broke up out of it to like go get married, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I think in the article that I read that was linked, people were saying that they looked down upon her decision to come back because she initially signed again with JYP and then broke the contract by getting married and being pregnant with a child. So I guess people are saying like, why are you coming back if you didn't stick to it the first time?
Oh wait, you know what? There's a big like there was a news article that got out, and it was apparently confirmed true that she got pregnant before marriage. And yeah, in Korea,
that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. Like I think,
and in
kind of, yeah.
And in Korea, when that happens, generally you have to get married right away.
Yeah,
right the fuck away. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Shady all around, but that was all the major news articles. It's honestly K-pop's in a little bit of a like this is the low point, low times because all the summer releases are pretty much done and everyone's just waiting for fall to come around.
Yeah.
So, piggybacking off of that, there's only one like pretty big release coming out next week. Well, for this current week, and it's a subunit. So it's Super Junior's D and E. So that's Donghae and Eunhyuk are coming back with the song. I'm pretty sure the album is called About You, but they're coming back, and that's honestly the only notable comeback.
What's his name? Geiko of Dynamic Duo is coming back next week.
Geiko?
Oh, okay. He is?
Yeah, with a single.
Also, the group Big Flow. I only know them because they had a kid play second place on the unit, Legion. It's odd because they're already promoting on TV shows, but their music video is not coming out till next week. Little strange.
Huh.
Oh.
But I guess it's a situation where it's like if you can get on TV, you might as well do it because spots are hard to come by these days. But let's see. The only other thing was we're not going to have a Produce 48 talk this week because this week there was no performances or rankings. Well, there was rankings, but it wasn't like an elimination episode, so there's not that much to talk about. It was like a filler episode, let's be real. The only big thing that came out of Produce 48 was that there was crazy movement in the rankings with specifically Miho and Miyu rose up a ridiculous. They both rose up 26 places, but other than that, nothing too crazy. We'll see if they can maintain those high rankings.
I'm kind of sad that my one pick kind of like is on 17.
Judy?
She's on 17 right now.
Yo, please vote for her. She's not my favorite, but she deserves to be higher than 17.
I'm kind of. There was a point last week where I kind of realized that like it's gonna be really difficult for her to like make it into the group.
Hey man,
anything can happen.
If she kills it in this next episode, she can definitely rise.
I definitely don't think that'll happen because if you realize the other people in that group, like it's kind of like difficult for her to get any screen time at this point. Like,
hey, you never know.
She can do it.
I hope. I really fucking hope so. But at this point, I'm really sad. Guys.
All right, but that's pretty much it. So
please vote for Soju.
This has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. Instagram.com/Doug92Kim. You know, follow that stuff, like that. You know, all that stuff. But and joining me was Warren.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
And Anita.
Thank you for listening.
And please download our podcast, subscribe, like wherever you see it. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're going to be on Spotify, Google Play, and eventually iTunes once they fix it. But that's been the show. Join us next week when we talk about dating and K-pop. Going to be a juicy episode. So thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, bye. Thank you. Bye.
Woo! Bye.